right. Hey, everybody. You are live with Trans Northland, and my name is Sean Hayes. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I'm a co-founder and the executive director at Trans Northland here in Duluth, Minnesota. And I'm super pumped to be back here for another amazing community conversation with someone that I am just a huge fan of and have gotten to know a little bit over the last year or so. And so, yes, Brinn, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, would you like to introduce yourself for all of our viewers?
Yes, my name is Brinn Gordon. In different circles, I go by Brinn Major. In other circles, I go by Octavia Forte. Pronouns are they, them. In performance mode, more she, they. But yeah, that's just how I go about my business. Hey, Sean, can you hear me okay?
Oh, there we go. It would help if I would unmute myself. So, anywho, I was saying thank you again, Brinn, for joining us and just having this conversation so folks can get to know you a little bit better and all the different like aspects of who you are as a cool ass human. And so, yeah, we're going to jump right into one of our first segments, I guess. We're always starting off these live conversations with a gender joy story because damn, life is stressful. The country, the world is intense right now. I mean, it always is, I feel like, trans and queer folks, but especially now. And so I feel like joy, gender euphoria, all of these things are so important to like keep looking for and experiencing. And so yeah, I'm curious, Brinn, is there anything that comes to mind for you, like that you've experienced lately that has just brought you that like gender joy, euphoria feel?
Honestly, it's honestly, truthfully, it's just being able to pull off like what I've been able to do, not only with my drag or even just mixing up like my style in various different ways and stuff, though. Just trying to bring back so many different forms of androgyny when it comes to my aspects of like my wardrobe, my style, and how I try to bring it full circle to who I am overall.
I love that so much. Yeah. I was trying to think of one quick here too, but I think that's so good. Just bringing in all the different ways that we can show up, and I think for me, I'm like looking at my fingernails, and this is kind of like a silly one, but we both got to be at our mutual amazing human being friend Kia's emo birthday party a couple days ago, and so I had painted my nails black for the first time ever. Never have I ever done this. And it's been a couple days since the party, and I still haven't taken it off because I'm kind of digging it a little bit.
I get that.
And so, yeah, like this is, I don't know, it's just one of those things where I would always think, oh, I can't pull this thing off, or like, oh, that's like not my style, so like I can't rock with it. But I
I
think the
feel
older
that.
I get, the more like, let me do it. Like, I want to try a thing, like, let me try it off and see how it goes, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think that sometimes folks get it a little bit twisted as well, though. Like recently, like ever since March, I've been actually getting my nails done like recently as well, though. And like even like with what I have right here, although they need to be done in a couple of days, but that's a different story for a different day. Um, like even just getting my nails done is just another way for me to just express like my um that joy as well too. It's been like super cool just to be like, this is mine, and it's just a new look, and I've been enjoying that. Like sometimes you just want to feel pampered. Sometimes you just want to push the envelope in different ways and just do your own thing.
That's right. Yes. And I know I've had a little bit of help. I got to shout out my kiddo who is almost 7, but she's been really into painting my toenails lately, which also it was funny because when she first asked me to do it, I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. And then it was like, wait a minute. First off, I'm a girl dad. Second off, like these gender roles and like ways of expressing gender and so like restrictive in the past, like that actually doesn't work anymore. And why not let my kid get so much joy out of painting my toenails? And then I rock
Right.
them out in the world.
It's a beautiful thing where it's just like, why not? I think that's the question that has been. I think we just have to ask more. Like, why not? Why can't we do this?
That's right. I mean, especially in this country that we live in that professes to be like this country of freedom and individualism and all of that. And yet, like, gosh, so many people are out there policing people's gender expressions. And yeah, it's like, it doesn't hurt you. And if it brings that person a little bit of joy, why not? I love that.
Right.
Man. Yes. Well, thanks for that, Brinn. Yeah, those like, I don't know, I feel like those silver lining moments when we have those feels, even if it's like a little like you got new nails and you're loving them, like those are the things I think that like give us hope and get us like, or
Yeah.
keep us going. It's like hard moments, right? In the world.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, as we shift kind of into more of our conversation, I know I'm feeling super, super excited because DJ Octavia Forte is going to be DJing at our first ever Halloween party that we're hosting actually on Halloween Friday, October 31st. And I swear I was like, what do we need? We need good tunes. We need good vibes. And I like immediately knew I had to reach out to you, Brinn. So
I
is there
appreciate it.
anything you can share about like if you're looking forward to that party or any
I think it's super
tunes or like
fun to
vibes
just
you'll
be
be
a
bringing?
part of it. I love it because I think it's just going to be super fun just to see folks just have a space of their own, just to like have fun so they can feel like safe, be in their own vibe and their energy and just dance the night away. Because as we mentioned earlier in this crazy world, how people are just like trying to police folks on just even existing, and the fact that people are just like, hey, this is uh, like what you guys are doing, giving space to those folks who may not feel safe in other places. It's a beautiful thing just to see what's that. I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yes, I love that. And I know the party's 18 plus, and we're going to be doing like a costume contest. And I just got our tarot card reader like solidified, and so it's all coming together. And I'm not even, I gotta say, I'm not even a huge Halloween person myself, just because how I grew up. Like we didn't really do Halloween. We did like harvest festivals or fall
Yeah,
kind of activities like at church. And so like I never really got to go out and dress up like as a young person. And so I'm like, man, I gotta start exploring this a little bit more now, man. Life's too short, right?
yeah, that's true. Like sometimes
Gosh, yes.
I think it's nice to have like a night to just release like that those thoughts of just like because sometimes I think we get like so hung up about what's age appropriate, what is age, and how we grow up. We forget to like feed that inner child of us and stuff. I think that's why I like Halloween so much.
Yes, it like kind of gives you the freedom, right, to really like get
Mhm.
out there with it. Like get
Right.
big in your expression or like literally like right, put on a costume or like become that character or whatever it is. I'm so
Exactly.
curious, do you have Halloween? Do you have like multiple Halloween costumes? I feel like you're busy at a lot of like Halloween related
Yeah.
events coming up.
I could say about several because not only am I hosting, like DJing the Halloween get together for Trans Northland, though there's multiple Halloween events that we're doing around the area within the next 2 weeks. Whether it's so, it looks like about two drag shows that I'm hosting slash DJing and performing. Actually, three. Wait, four. Oh my goodness. Because there's the one that's going on coincidentally at the depot on the 17th with the House of Queer, my drag house, and my drag mother, that Krayzie will be hosting that while I'll be doing my DJ duties. Saturday, October 18th, we're doing a show over at the main with the Gender Blend Troupe, which is a more king and non-binary and gender fluid focus group of performers as well. And shout outs to DW Bucks, by the way, for the PG friendly folks. I'm not going to say the actual name of what the
That's right. That's
DW
right.
stand for because this is more of a family friendly zone right here. But if you know, you know. But then we have the Past the Aux edition of a House of Queer show over at Duluth Cider on the 24th, which is on the same night as I host our karaoke competition finals over at the Superior Flame at 10 p.m. But the Past the Aux show, I believe it's at 8 on the 24th. Then the next day, on the 25th, I will be hosting and performing my second drag show over at the Superior Flame, which is our haunting show, which has some of the, I'd say, the best of some of the local talent, as well as a few folks from the cities, and one of our performers is from the Iron Range. Actually, a couple of our performers are originally from the Iron Range, but they've been really doing it big over in the Twin Ports Metro. Then, yeah, so I gotta prep at least like between like 5 to 7 costumes.
Woo! Are you ready? You still got work to do?
Still got a little bit of work to do, but the bright side is I got most of them already done.
Yes. I'm sure that's a relief.
Which helps because I was prepping since September, so
Oh,
people always be like this. You can't like you prep it early for Halloween. I'm like this. I've seen people prep early for Christmas.
that's right. Yeah, someone was just telling me that someone is, yeah, putting up Christmas stuff already. I'm like, it's not even Halloween yet. What? We got
I just let people.
Thanksgiving, so many holidays coming up before the actual holidays.
Yeah, for real. Because half of the time I'm just like this. Can I at least have Thanksgiving first? Like, wait a minute now.
Right? Oh my gosh. Hold up. Everything's going so fast all the time, I swear. But
hmm
it sounds like you know what that's like because you're zooming all over at all these different events.
Yes.
And it's funny because that's going to like lead into one of our next questions for you. But clearly, folks can hear from like what you've already shared. You're real busy, but could you share a little bit more about kind of all of the things that you work on and like where did musical and performing career start for you? How did that all get going?
Yeah, so at the age of like 9 years old, I just like started like writing my own raps and stuff though. They were like basic stuff though, but I was always in my headspace like, okay, I can rap this, I can rap that, I can do some different stuff, but I didn't really get into it until I started like hanging out with friends when I was in middle school, then high school, then college gave me more of a voice to actually do my thing a little bit more and just fulfill what I could. Like honestly, going to UWS and being around very talented people within the universities, like through the campus, as well as being around other folks around the area when the Twin Ports hip hop stream scene was a little bit stronger compared to what it is today. But nevertheless, I was around very talented people, and it motivated me, and it gave me the opportunity and the voice to just be like, "Hey, you can do this," and I'm like, "Okay." I maybe can do this. And so I really started performing more when it comes to just rap. Basically, starting like my during my first year at UWS, I had my own set for our March Music Madness. My second year there, released like my first like fully original mixtape as a rapper. At like I was only 20 when I released this tape, so like that's a tape I still hold very near and dear to my heart though. Although a lot of the themes, like I don't perform a lot of the songs that I did back in the day anymore because I feel like that was an old identity. But nowadays I just perform under my new identity, but not forget who I am on top of that. So really college was kind of like that opening for me beginning that going to from college to performing homegrown my final year at UWS, then taking a little bit of a break to just give myself some clarity and some leeway time, really just checking in that, then performing more as a artist under my current moniker, and then incorporating drag into it as well, which has been even more fun.
Heck yes. I'm so curious. How did you make the jump? Like, what's the story when you started performing drag or like becoming interested in the drag aspect?
Well, I've always been like interested in drag because for the longest period of time, I've been a part of. I've always DJ'd drag events. I've been DJing drag events for quite some time, whether it was over at the Superior Flame with our first team of hosts and hostesses. Shouts to Aaron, shouts to Alex Jones, shouts to Travis Rossum and Jason Miller. They were kind of like they were the original core over there over at the Superior Flame. And I DJ'd for them and just to see the talent that they had. And I was just like, I think this is really cool, but I'm not sure if I can do it. But I got more into it because I was like messing with a lot of like different wardrobe choices for a while. And I was just like, okay, there's some ideas here. Then I wanted to get more into drag, and I like to give a shout out to some folks over at like some of the crew, like my buddy Lucas and also Alex, who were part of Xena City Horror and stuff though, and they were the ones who actually gave me a space to like, hey, you can actually learn how to do like makeup and stuff. So they gave me a base for it. So like, despite all the craziness and all the hoopla and whoop-de-whoop about whatever it is that goes on in life, I still will not forget the people who genuinely helped me get my start. However, I decided to really branch out more, whether it was getting help from like my current drag family, like shouts to Dixie Diamond, shouts to that Queer Issa, shouts to Jocelyn, shouts to Spectrum. A lot of those folks who really like helped me get into my learning a little bit more so I can feel a little bit more comfortable and better about like how to do my makeup, how to like how certain things work for me, being more challenging myself and my versatility, and also shouts to my homegirl, the original Eve as well, who really was just like hyping me up though because I knew that this was something that I wanted to do when I had a friend like in the middle of their show, like doing their thing, acknowledging me as their DJ, but at the same time, just letting the crowd know that hey, they're starting their drag journey. We just want to show love and support, and I was just like, that's when I knew I wanted to do it. And even going along the lines of that, telling friends over at a holiday party last year that if I got to homegrown for 2025, I was going to wrap my entire set in drag. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's right. Yeah. So how was that for you? Like, I mean, you've obviously performed. How many times have you performed at Homegrown? Like before that, and then what was it like to perform as your drag persona?
So prior to that, prior to 2025, that was my I performed at Homegrown three times: 2016, 2023, and 2024. 2025 would be was my fourth time. Um, prior, like 2016, that was like new artists. They were highlighting all the new artists over at Pizza Luce, and I was just a lowly. I was like a freshly 23, about to be 24-year old college graduate because homegrown happened the week of my finals. And the crazy part about it was that I was all I had. It was just me wearing a Hot Topic vest, Nike influence like t-shirts, some black cargo shorts, and a Nike basketball sleeve. Compared to darn near 10 years later, coming in wearing an all red getup with these leather heels and uh, long, like brownish, blondish wig and whatnot, and now just performing. Excuse me. Um, and performing at on that level, it's night and day. It's cheekily night and day.
Yeah, but I'm imagining it's kind of cool to be able to have that fluidity, right? Where it's like some of the times you're out there in front of folks performing as Octavia versus Brinn, and so yeah, does it give you or does it feel like that for you? Like it's sort of this nice like mesh of like all these different parts of your identity that get to show up then?
Yes, it honestly does because I think what gives me that joy and gratitude as a like in my performance mode when I'm performing as Octavia, being able to rap in my normal energy as Octavia, there's a little bit more sass to it. There's a little bit more attitude that
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like I'm missing when I'm as Bryn and when I'm but yeah, it just helps when it's just like, okay, this is me, this is different, and it's right, it's hitting right, it's this attitude, it's this energy, it's this feeling of like, I run this, I am a different energy, and it's just fun. It's just fun to just really step up and do it in that form. And
Yes.
homegrown is kind of like this culmination of like me being able to express that part of like my persona as well and just be me. And it's super cool to me.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can imagine. And as someone who has been at a handful of your shows where you're either, well, I feel like at the drag shows, are you usually DJing and performing at all of them? Or are there
It
some where you're
varies
just
too,
DJing?
bro.
I was gonna say, either way, those are busy nights for you, but like just the energy and I feel like the joy that you can feel like from you on stage as someone who's attending like one of those shows, like you feel it in your bones. Like it is a sass and energy, like a power. I feel like that Octavia really like puts out there, and it's like a contagious thing, you know?
Yes, beyond because it's just something that um For the longest time, it's just that I've never felt like when I was younger, I never felt like I could express myself in ways that was more assertive because there was always this trope of being masculine presenting and a person of color. There's like a level of aggression that a lot of folks think that's the case, when in all actuality, I'm not trying to perpetuate that. I'm just trying to assert my feelings. And being Octavia has given me a little bit more of that energy and edge where I'm just like, I can assert that energy. And it helps immensely.
Yes, I love that. I love that for you and all the people who will go and see you perform as Octavia. And also, like, I feel like with your music too, I mean, it's like so, like, such different vibes, right? So I feel like it's like there's something almost for everyone to go and enjoy you out in the community performing.
Hmm. That's all I ever wanted in the grand scheme of things. Is just being able to express myself in a positive way, and also give younger folks and future performers in their own right just to be like, hey, you can do this too, and you can actually be able to speak and spit your truth the way that you want to.
That's right. Oh my gosh. I wish I could have had that message way earlier on in my life, you know? And so I always think it's so beautiful when folks like you are out there and are so visible and like and so like also approachable, right? Like you
Yeah.
do want to like talk with folks at the shows, like you do want to like connect with youth and like share these good messages with folks.
Hmm. And that's what it's really all about
Yes.
too, because I think that, like, going back to our earlier point though, when it comes to like the current state of matters in our country right now, I feel like the youth really need to hear people who are going through what they have gone through, or youth that have are in a situation where it's just like they don't really feel like they can talk to anybody about these feelings, or they feel unsafe. I think all people ever want is security and to feel safe in their own energy, and that's what really matters in the grand scheme of things too.
1,000%. I could not agree more. And I feel like it's almost like a good connection into our next question here. So, like sharing about how you connect into community. I mean, you've already talked about like the hip hop scene that you were a part of, like your community that you were a part of over at UWS, and now like you've got your drag house that you're a part of. And I'm just curious, yeah, what is it like for you? Like, why is it important for you to be connected in these different ways in community right now?
Yes, it's mainly about just making sure your voice is heard. I feel that a lot of people, including myself sometimes, I think we neglect how connection and community as a whole really starts with one voice at times. That's usually running that back. Connection and community genuinely starts with one voice. And when you have that voice starting off, it's everything and then some when you can very well um, tell people about your experiences because people can relate, and or talking about concerns of the matter that you may have that is affecting the community and people can relate. There are also ways that you can express your voice because I think my dad said it best. You don't necessarily get anywhere without speaking your truth, speaking your mind. And my ways of connecting with the community, whether it's through the House of Queer, whether it's through both the Duluth and Superior Flames, as well as the main club, as well as with these troops, whether it's over with the Body Electric, whether it's the Duluth, like the Duluth Flame, the House of Queer, Gender Blend, whether it's through Pride, whether it's through Trans Northland, whether it's through Homegrown. Community in this area is really just, as a whole, the aspect of one voice and how we all just really do our best going forward and speaking our minds and doing our best to bring it full circle and all together now.
That's right. Yeah, I love what you said there because I feel like it does take like people like yourselves, like, um, you know, like I said before, being visible, like you're saying, like really using your voice out there in the community and like, sharing these messages of hope and that like it's cool for folks to be able to like fully express themselves however they want to do that, right? And I think those folks who are visible in these ways, I mean, that's a huge part about building like a safe, inclusive community here. I mean, that's like so much of what Trans Northland has tried to do over the years, right? Is like, how can we really just like reach and connect with all of like the trans and gender expansive and two spirit and non-binary folks, as well as like the larger queer community and our allies, because I think when we're connected into community, when we can see people who like we can then look to or like look up to and be like, okay, well, if Brinn could do this, then maybe I can try drag, or like I think that's so huge for people, especially now, right? To like have something to get excited about. Um, and so, yeah, I just want to say thank you. I'm just feeling grateful for you and all of the ways. I mean, you just like listed off all of those places in community that you are connected. Not only that you're like just showing up and being in the space, but like you're actually like impacting and bringing more people into those safe spaces, which is just so cool and huge. And I love it.
Right. And I feel like my the one thing I was talking with a lot of my colleagues over at the Superior Flame is that my goal as a director now is just making sure that I showcase really the best of not necessarily the best of the best though, but making sure that I am extending that olive branch to folks as well. And I think that with community, it does start with one voice though, but we also have to do everything in our power going forward to just really, with that one voice turns to many, and those many voices can really bring out the best in what our community can do because uh, it's not a linear process though, but it's not a lonely process when you have community.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. We're like in this Northland community together, right? And I think it's been so cool, at least from my experience, like watching as this community has grown like over the last several years and how many more folks are out there like starting drag houses and like running craft and book clubs and like there's just so many ways that folks can get involved right now, and it seems like to me that there's plenty of room out there for all of us to exist like in all of the fullness of who we are and like those passions that we want to share with the community. Like I'm here for that. Plus, like when we're being attacked on all sides is what it feels like now is the time to come together, like bring all of those strong voices into one, and then we are powerful and we are strong and we're not going to let folks try to erase us, from society.
Right. That's all we really want in the grand scheme of things is just equality. A voice that is a voice to be heard and understood. Everybody wants to feel understood. Everybody wants to feel like they're being heard and listened to. And I think folks really get it twisted when it comes to how people relay their messages and they're trying to say things are being forced upon when Nothing's really being forced upon. People just want to be heard. And also, it's like, it's a small percentage of these folks. They just want to be understood and heard. And as a
That's right.
person who falls in many different umbrellas and stuff, though, my goal is just to make sure I'm doing everything in my power to make sure I'm sharing a solid space for everybody and being
Definitely.
approachable.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I love that. And so I'm curious. I have two different questions now. I'm just throwing you on the spot now, Brent. So no pressure. But I was curious, you shared a little bit about how now you're a part of the House of Queer. And I feel like in the like LGBTQ plus community, we all sort of know about like house mothers and like drag houses and like that's a thing. But like now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm so curious. Like, how does that feel to become a part of a house of drag, and like what's it like to like connect with these other folks who are performing and really like exploring and sharing these different parts of themselves with like the larger community? Like, and then I'm curious, what kind of support is there? Because my guess is like y'all aren't just chatting when there's a show coming up. I'm sure there's a little bit more that goes into like being a member of a house. So I'm curious
Oh
what you share
yeah.
about that.
Honestly, it's really from my personal experience as well, though. So, my house mother, that Clarissa, she asked me to be a part of her drag house back on December of 2024. So it was like right during our holiday drag show, and it was a heck of an honor to be asked because I was at the time only really getting into like drag and understanding my look and my aesthetic and everything only for like a couple of months. So I felt like I was kind of like, it felt like rookie seasons. Like it felt like your standard rookie season for a sports like team and whatnot. But it felt different because the dark side about it all was there was a nurturing aspect of it too because there's ideas that I may have and I run it through Issa as well, and there's like things that we all work on together. There was like even a time where we like just sat down like via on FaceTime and whatnot, just like doing makeup and understanding what ideas that we have from there, and then even ideas that we have from shows, like showing ideas for costumes, like music. Honestly, I feel like a good like peak of it was for like impromptu, like homegrown was a good example of it because we did a brief like mini mix for like our portion of the variety show that we were doing that Friday over at Studio 4. And when that happening was that I mixed in the songs that my drag family, Issa, Jazzy, Anomaly, and Dixie were doing. I'm just like, how can we narrow this down to like a 15-minute slot, which we ended up doing pretty well. And it was just a combination of, it's just collaboration at its positive, support when it feels like there's a lot of things that may go on emotionally and mentally, in addition to just family energy, which a lot of folks don't really like, that sometimes we neglect. And as a person that has been through, like, I don't have like a lot of family close to me, like whether it's like physically close to me or emotionally close to me. So having that in a drag house is super special when it doesn't come off like competitive. It just comes off that super supportive, and we all want to better ourselves while supporting each other in the process.
Yes, I love that so much. Yeah, because I mean, I feel like that's sort of a thing that like drag queens, kings, drag royalty, I should say in general, get like like, oh, there's drama and it's dramatic and it, but it's like, I mean, we all have our own drama, right? I mean, we all have our things that are going on, things that are stressing us out or overwhelming us, and I think that like family aspect of it is really like the special thing. That a lot of folks maybe don't get to like actually see or like witness, but like y'all in the house, like you have that support and there's like that desire to just like care for and like uplift and encourage your like drag siblings, I guess.
Yes, and I think that's what makes
That
it
is,
so much easier too, because like you got folks that you can lean on, and also folks that are super supportive and super talented, and it's not about like running it back, as I said before, it's not about the competition aspect, it's about bettering each other.
mm-hmm. Yeah, the idea that we can lift each other up rather than sort of like try to climb over each other on the way to the top. It's like we've got enough people from outside of our community making life hard enough for each of us. So,
Hmm.
like, yeah, let's get together and do this in a more powerful, uplifting, kind way. I don't know. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, just bringing out the best of joy, like joy and just triumph and togetherness.
Yes, yes. Okay. And also, you said Joy, which made me immediately think like you DJ'd Trans Joy Fest for us this last year, just this year. I mean, in
Yeah.
2025 in June. I'm trying to remember, were you at 2024 too DJing? Have you been there a
I wasn't
bunch?
at 2024 though. I was at 2025 was actually my first time I ever DJed Trans Joy Fest. I DJed Bayfront for DS Pride in some capacity over the past 4 years.
Yes, which you did again this year, and you were fabulous as always.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I'm curious. What does it feel like to be at those like bigger events, like Duluth Superior Pride? I don't know how many, thousands of people probably come through Bayfront on that day, right? But that and
Right.
Trans Joy Fest, like you're up there on the stage looking out at like a huge audience of folks, right? A huge community, and yeah, what's that feel like for you?
Honestly, it's gotten to the point where it's just like it's it. There's a lot of nerves, but once I'm actually up there and really focused in my own energy, I realize it's not that like not necessarily it's not that deep, but it feels like it feels possible. That's what I mean to say. It feels like, hey, this is it's a lot of there the reason why it's still very deep for me personally because it's an honor. It's always been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to be able to host and talk and chop it up with hundreds of people who are just amazing, and also to chop it up with a lot of and to do these events that are just so amazing and that brings togetherness too. For like this summer alone with Trans Joy Fest that we did back in June, then doing Two Harbors Pride on the week after 4th of July, which that was really fun. I was honestly, I kind of impromptu DJ'd that event without, um, nobody was fighting me for it, so I was just doing my thing just to make sure to keep everybody entertained and whatnot, and doing the same for
So,
Bayfront the past 4 years. It's just been a
yeah,
lot joy and honor that these wonderful people who work behind the scenes day in, day out, night in, night out to give a safe space to people who really need it and trust in me as I sometimes describe myself as this lowly tiny human from the east side of St. Paul. But it kind of comes full circle because if I would have told myself this, um, I'd say 20 years ago, if I would have told 13-year-old me that stuff like this would be happening to, I would be doing this stuff, I wouldn't believe it. But now I'm just like, I am a part of helping bring joy to people who need it, who is looking for that joy when it's harder on a day-to-day basis. And it's just a beautiful thing to see that by hosting these events and by DJing these events and talking on the microphone and meeting these people, and they're like being super encouraging, like you're doing a great job, and that means a lot.
Yeah, it really does, man. I feel like it makes me think of my friend Sarah, who said like she's been doing like domestic violence prevention work for like 20 years now. But like the way she got started was she was working at a shelter, I think, for battered women and children, and like somebody she was working with like said, I think you would be good at this. You should give this a try. Like, you're doing a good job. And like that encouragement, right? The ability for someone to say, like, I see you, like, I see the things that you're good at or that are like bringing you joy. And then to like really, like, I don't know if push is the right word. That sounds like violent, but like, trying to push folks up and like towards like their dreams, right? Like, if that's a thing, we should be encouraging folks to move towards those dreams of whether it's
Yes.
performing or starting a club or a new job, whatever it is, right?
Hmm. Especially because
Yes. Well, I know we're. Oh yeah.
we just need to
Yeah. Go
continue
ahead.
to. I think that's the best way to put it. Just continuing to encourage folks and just follow their dreams and just keep going. Because honestly, if I didn't keep going with what I was doing right now, I don't think I'd be in the position that I am today. As like, there's a level of prominence that I feel that I have, but I wouldn't be there without the folks encouraging me in the grand scheme of things.
That's right, man. I feel that. Oh, I feel that. And I feel like so many people can relate to that too, whether it's like, a mentor or a family member, someone who loved you along the way and gave you that encouragement, or if it's like a drag sibling or like another musical performing colleague or whoever it is. And I feel like that's such an important part of just like being in community together, right? Like we can be holding each other accountable. We can be uplifting and encouraging and doing like all of that at the same time, which is really cool. So, I know we're coming up on sort of the end of our time, and you have already actually mentioned a ton of events that you've got coming up just in like the next couple of weeks. And so, our sort of last wrapping up question, I'm curious, and this could be like events coming up in the next couple of months, anything you're in particularly like really excited about, or you could also go like big scale, like do you have any big dreams for Octavia or Brinn Major, or like what are some of those things that you're dreaming about?
Ah, yes. Where do I start? Yeah, as a whole, there's a lot of like different things I have, like events I have going on. I'm super excited for. As I mentioned earlier, I got about four drag shows that I'm doing with DJing and performing on the 17th and the 24th are the House of Queer's Halloween show, as well as the Past the Ox event at the Duluth Depot, as well as Duluth Cider, respectively. I gotta give a shout out to my Gender Blend crew over at the Main that they're doing their show on the 18th that I'm DJing and being a part of. Then shouts to my cast members for the show that's on the 25th over at the Superior Flame, which is I gotta give a shout out to my drag mother per usual because, as I said, without her, I probably wouldn't be doing a lot of the stuff that I've been encouraged and have found the found the courage to do. So like my cast for that show was really exciting. Shouts to that Krayzie, shouts to Dixie Diamond, my drag auntie as well. Shouts to the original Eve. Shouts to my drag brother Anomaly. Shoutouts to Spectrum, also my drag auntie, and shoutouts to Saint Rain Cassadine as well. That's going to be a fun show. I'm really excited for Trans Northland's Halloween event as well. That's going to be live. We're going to have fun, and I'm just going to throw down like I normally do. Then I got my next drag show that I'm hosting in will be December 20th for our Christmas show over at the Superior Flame. Then also being on the lookout for my third album as Brinn Major, which is that's gonna be super fun. The album is called Persona Volume 3. That will be coming out. I got a lot of stuff written for it. The goal is to have it out by New Year's Eve, but if it doesn't come out New Year's Eve, I'm shooting for around Valentine's Day time as that album released in 2026.
Oh man, you are busy, 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 and so many cool things to be looking out for folks who are watching or watching this after the fact. Like, you gotta go follow Brinn, follow Octavia, and that's it. Before I forget, like where can folks find you on social media, or like what's the best way for folks to like make it to your next show?
Yeah, so I always post on my socials as well exactly where I'm going to be at. So you can either follow me at Brinn Major on Instagram or at Octavia period Forte on Instagram. Those are like my two forms of contact as well whenever anybody wants to either A, get a hold of me, collaborate, perform, bookings, or just want to follow whatever events that I have going on as well. There's a lot of things that we're doing as well. Also, the Haus of Queer, the at Haus of Queer MN page as well, though, which we tend to highlight what not only what shows are is the troupe doing in the area, as well as highlighting performances, individual performances from our members in our troupe, our family members as well too, which that's another way to get a hold of what I'm gonna be doing as well too. So as I tell people all the time, I don't make myself that hard to find for a reason. So because now you know where I be at.
Yes, that's it. Well, now you heard it. Go follow Brinn on all the social medias. And I just want to say thank you again to you, Brinn, for taking the time to have this conversation with me and just to really share more about who you are with our community. And I just love it. I want more and more folks to connect and like be at your shows and show up to support and enjoy, because it is a blast every time I see you up there performing.
Well, it's always an honor and a privilege. It's always a pleasure. I always want to give a shout out to my drag family as well, though, too, because without a lot of them and their support of what I've been doing for the past year and a half of DJing, then I'm jumping into drag, I honestly wouldn't be here without them by any means. And it just there's a lot of they mean a lot to me. So like shouts to Issa, shouts to Dixie, shouts to Coda, shouts to Jazzy, shouts to Spectrum. Love all of y'all. Shouts to everybody in the Northland as well. Just keep supporting your local talent. Support your local LGBTQ talent. Support Trans Northland for sure, y'all. Support these folks fighting a good fight on a day-to-day basis. That's all I ask.
Yes, and I want to echo that, of course, and I love all the shout outs. I mean, seriously, every one of your drag siblings are such incredible performers. So you gotta get to a House of Queer show if you have not yet. What are you even doing with your life?
Exactly. What we doing?
But that's what are we even doing, right? So, anyways, well, yeah, now you heard it. There's lots to go to, shows to get to, and that album coming out. Ooh, we got lots of stuff to look forward to. So I'm pumped about that. And just pumped for you, Brinn. I mean, like, just amazing job with all of these different things that you're out there doing and sharing with folks like me who are not talented in any of those ways, and we just get to show up and like bask in all of the fantasticness. So keep up the good work, Brinn.
Thank you.
Yes, and as we're wrapping up here, I just want to say thanks again for all of the folks who've taken the time to watch this and tune into our conversation here today with Brinn. All the love from me and all of our leadership team here at Trans Northland. And then I gotta tease our next upcoming guest to get y'all coming back. So we are super stoked to be welcoming Danielle Thrallo to our next Live with Trans Northland show. So Danielle has performed throughout the U.S., winning Miami's Funniest, and was also the first runner-up at the Acme Comedy Club's Funniest Person in the Twin Cities. She's also a professional photographer with a bunch of credits. And if that wasn't enough, she founded over 30 internet-based retail stores back in the day, and each of her stores became online global leaders in their categories. Wow. So yeah, tune in a couple weeks. We'll have Danielle joining us and learn more about her and all of the cool stuff and funny stuff she's doing. Don't forget, you can check out our Trans Northland event calendar at transnorthland.org/connection. We want all of you to get out there into the community. There's so many ways to connect, make new friends, find your people, so we can take care of each other. And as always, you can follow us, here on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching this show. You can sign up for our email list, and all those details will be down in the description of this episode. So thanks again, Brinn. Thanks again,
Thank you so
everybody. And we will see you back in a couple of weeks. Take care, y'all.